Hi YouTube, welcome to Wes Picks. Shortish video today. I've been getting, well, over the last year or so, I've been getting quite a lot of questions on how I get my CA glue finish on my picks. So what I'm going to do is take you through part of the process. Obviously it'll take too long to go through the whole lot. But what I've got is this one. This is made out of, well, I used to call it flapjack micarta, but it's actually made out of sawdust and epoxy resin. I won't show you the tip. It's one I haven't tried before. But what I use is, it's just a cheap. This one comes from Screwfix in the UK, but as long as it's a two-part, you've got your CA glue, and then you've got the activator. I'm sure most of you are familiar with this sort of stuff. I'm going to show you how I apply it to the picks once this lorry's gone by. There you go. So, let's see if we can get the camera set up. I've got to do it off the edge of these gates because I really don't want to get it on there. So what I do first, let's get this in view, I spray a bit of activator onto the pick handle, and then just, you don't need too much because I mean you're going to do quite a few coats, and then all I use is a bit of kitchen wipe. Just wipe it over, try and get it so it doesn't build up and run. Just get it over the top. So that's one coat. And then what I do, I just leave that for a few seconds or so, or probably 10 seconds or so, and then from a distance, probably over a foot away, just spray a little bit of activator, and then give it another 10 seconds or so, and then that should be pretty well dry after about 10 seconds. The activator does speed it up. What it does, it makes it rock hard. I mean, this pick was sanded down to 240 grit. And then what I'll do is I'll build it up in layers. It's probably, yeah, it's dry. So now we'll put another coat on. Same process. Another bit of rag. It doesn't matter if it's not even because you're going to be flattening it back anyway. And then what we're going to be doing then, well, I'm not going to do that on the video because that's just the boring shitty bit that I ate. Do be aware of CA glue. When it's being activated, it does give off nasty fumes, and it burns your eyes a little bit. As you know, obviously I've got PPE on, but see. But there you go. Anyway, another one. And then basically that is it. So you just build that up. I generally do anywhere between 3 coats up to, I have done 10 coats. The more you put on, obviously the more depth of shine you've got. It gives you like a more of a glassy sort of finish. But that, you know, as you can see, it's very shiny already. It's a bit uneven, but I think a few more coats and that is dry. So, and what we can do, once we've CA'd it, then I'll start with, I don't know, something like a 180 and then a 240. You can go right through the grits. You could be quite obsessive about it, like mentioning no names, John Eggington. And then I go on to these little soft, super fine grits. They start at about 1500 and I think they go up to about 12,000. And once I've done those, got all the lines out of it, then I go on to the coarse grit, Yorkshire grit, and then I will go on to a finer one before I then buff it with a bit of wax or something. And then this is what you can end up with. Let's see if we... I mean, that's 3 coats on that. This is end grain Iroko. Bit of a ball ache because end grain is quite weak, but once you've CA'd it, makes it tough as you like. I would only do it on woods. Corian and acrylics and things, they buff up really nicely on their own. The only wood I do find that it's not even worth putting on is ebony, because it doesn't really sort of stick to it. But like I say, that's the kind of finish you can get, and that's rock hard. It's, I'd say, probably harder than varnish, and obviously you can get 10 coats on in about 5 minutes. So anyway, I hope that helps. That is how I do CA glue. So I'll just show you now, that is rock hard. Only after a few seconds, and then you can just flat it back. You can see when you've got your lines out, because you know it'll go white all over. As you can see, it's not, you know, it's still shiny there. So you've got to sand through that, get a nice flat finish all over. Like I said, there's quite a few more coats to go on this one. I would say about 3-4 more coats. But anyway, you get the idea. Sands off really nicely. And on this flapjack micarta, it had quite a few imperfections in it. So all I did beforehand was spray a little bit of activator in, just a little drop of CA glue just to fill it up, let that dry, then flat that off. And it acts as a really nice filler, and it gives you a little bit of depth where there would have been a hole. But yeah, anyway, hope you enjoyed that. Sorry, a bit of a long video. Don't like doing long videos. I hope that helps. Good luck.